Hello and welcome back. Today I'm talking about Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you're new here, my goal is to make like 1,000 books, and I want to change the lives of millions of people through the knowledge from the books, from the things that I've learned. So make sure to follow and like and comment and all the good stuff. So in my journey to talk about 1,000 books, I think there will probably be like 300 books about finance and entrepreneurship, because it's a big part of my life. I'm interested in financial freedom and starting a business and so on. And one of the best books of all time, one of the best sellers of one of the best financial books of all time is Rich Dad Poor Dad, because it's it teaches you the principles of money, and it changes your perspective, and it tells you that it's possible. The story of Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert T. Kiyosaki, it's about his dad, his real dad, and his best friend's dad. Both of them, they were really intellectual, they were smart people, educated. His real dad was really poor, and he died poor, and he had debts. But his friend's dad became one of the richest people in Hawaii, and he decided from a very young age to learn from his friend's dad. He called him Rich Dad. And so he said, if I just learned from my rich dad, I would just get this perspective and I would be this rich entrepreneur. But if I learned from my poor dad, I would be just a student. And the conventional wisdom says, study hard, get a good degree, get a good job, have pension, and retire at 65. He would just get this perspective. But he did not take either. He took both, right? And he summarizes what he learned from both of his dads in a couple of principles. So let's go over them real quick. The first principle is that the rich don't work for money. They let their money work for them. You see, many people have this loop that they go around from their emotion, which we can discuss later in details, that is around two feelings, greed and fear. They fear that they won't have enough money. Like Jim Rohn said, I don't have enough month by the end of the money. So I always work to find sources to get money. But then when I get that money, the greed comes in and I spend it. And I work for money all my life. And I spend like working from 9 to 5, trying to move on the corporate ladder, try to get promotion. But what about inventing, building that ladder? What about making your money work for you? What about having money to invest that money and buy assets so that assets produce more money for you? This is the first principle that you learn from this book. Also, the key principle from the book overall is assets and liabilities. Now, in short, assets are things that put money into your pockets, and liabilities, the things that take money from your pocket. For example, let's say you bought a laptop, right? And all you do for this laptop, that you play games, and you buy these games, and you buy joysticks, and you buy more games, and you spend more time, and you have internet, and you pay for the internet. So everything you do on the laptop takes money actually from your pocket, right? So that's a liability on you. What about if you bought this laptop and you're working online and you're making money and you're selling a product and you're making more money and you're learning skills, so you are investing in yourself. Now it became an asset, became something that puts money into your pocket. Now deal with everything that you buy the same way. There's something known as ROI, or return on investment. What are you going to get from everything you buy? Is it an asset or a liability? Are you losing money from the things that you buy, or are you gaining money, right? So this is principle number one. Principle number two is financial literacy. See, whatever you learn, you are going to earn. As they say, the more you learn, the more you earn. You learn about relationships, you are going to have better relationships. You learn about finance, you're going to have better finance. The things that you can understand, you're going to get more of. If you just gamble and they say this is a very dangerous investment. No, it's not, or risky. It's ignorant investment. That's risky. So have more financial literacy, understand basics of accounting, and you don't need to have a degree and understanding sales and accounting and numbers and all these stuff. Just understand the basics of entrepreneurship. Try to have financial literacy. Understand a paper with a financial statement. Like what is balance sheet and cash flow and ROI, these basic principles, because the thing that you want to have more of, you have to understand, right? So this is very important. Number 3 is to mind your own business. Building a business and having assets is one of the most important things. Investing in real estate, in a website, or just in anything that actually produces more money for you is your goal. There are a lot of books that are going to discuss this matter, and I'm going to suggest a couple at the end. So let's move on. So this principle, investing in assets. Now, principle number 4 is the power of corporation. Now, corporation is a fancy word for having just a big company, and you can use the advantage of a corporation, and through that advantage, you don't have the same taxes. The people who make more money, they have financial IQ. They understand how money works. They understand basics of accounting, investment, and marketing and law, so that they have benefits. They understand the taxes better than the poor people, and so that they get around them. And so this is why they say the rich is getting richer. Yes, because they understand how it works. Principle number 5 is to seize opportunities to invent money. Now, most people, are trying to get more money, but they don't know how it comes from. As they say, money exists with the people. And in order for you to get money, you have to provide something for the people. You have to solve a problem for the people. Look, for example, for Facebook, right? How many problems does Facebook solve to how many people? There are probably more than 2.5 billion people using Facebook. This is why it's worth 68 billion today. If you want to chat with someone as a video or audio or just writing, you can use Facebook Messenger. If you want to promote your business as pictures or videos or posts or GIFs, if you want to sell a product, if you want to show art, if you want to connect with your friends, a lot of problems Facebook solve. This is why it can get that market. So think of it this way: solve a problem, a big problem. The bigger the problem, the more people you solve it, the more money you're going to make. Principle number 6 is to work to learn, don't work for money. Now, you have a job already. You already work from 9 to 5. So you work on your job. You're not working on yourself. This is a very important principle. Any job you take, think of it as learning process. Think of it as a way to push you to a better job, right? What are you going to learn from this job? For example, you have 2 things to look for when you are getting a job: the payment, the salary, and the learning. So if you have a job, then you're not getting a good salary, but you are learning every day. You're stretching every day. Keep this job, because return on investment, you're investing in yourself in the future, in the very future, like a couple of months or a year. You're going to have a lot of skills, and you are going to be worth a lot of money. What if you are having a good salary, you have a very, very good salary, but you're not learning anything? You spend time in a job and you're not learning anything, but you get a good salary. Now, this decision is yours. You can say, well, I'm working on myself. I have a good salary. I can work on myself. I'm not learning from the job, but you have to keep learning, right? It's a very, very important thing. Work on yourself, not on your job. Principle number 7 is to overcome the obstacles. There's a great book says obstacle is the way. There are a lot of things that are stopping you from getting rich. Mainly 5 things: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. Now, you have to break all these things. You have to understand that fear is an acronym for false expectations appearing real. They are just false expectations. As they say, you have a lot of problems and fears that most of them did not happen and probably will not happen. Do not self-doubt yourself. Break procrastination and laziness and bad habits and arrogance. And arrogance is actually another big problem. We have a book called The Ego is the Way. So you have to break these obstacles in order for you to have financial freedom and to, just reach your goals. So there are a couple of principles, mainly just like steps to use to reach that financial freedom. He said, find a reason greater than reality. Why are you trying to become financially free? It's a very important question to ask yourself. It's going to motivate you every day. Also, to make daily choices. Everything you buy, everything you sell, why are you doing this? It's also taking you towards your goal. Also, choose your friends carefully, because the people you surround yourself with are going to guide you. Also, master a formula that moves quickly to the next. Try to understand how investment worked, and then try to understand starting a business. Try to understand the skills. You have a few principles that if you mastered, you are going to move quickly towards your goal. So this is a very important principle. Always pay yourself first. You're going to hear this principle a lot. Pay yourself first. The first thing you do when you get your salary, to pay yourself, which we're going to talk about later in the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. But just you have to keep money to invest. When you do this, most people, when they get their salary, they spend everything, right? So they don't have enough by the end of the month. But smart, rich people, they keep a portion or percentage of the money to invest, which is later on becoming the thing that lets them become free. So these are just a couple of principles. The book is full of principles and ideas. It's really, really great. Robert Kiyosaki has a lot of books on financial freedom. I recommend 5. If you are interested in financial freedom and entrepreneurship in general, I recommend these 5 books in that order, which I think I might do summaries for them. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, number 1. Number 2, The Cash Flow Quadrant. Number 3, Before You Quit Your Job. Number 4, Increase Your Financial Literacy. And number 4, Increase Your Financial Literacy. And number 5, Rich Dad Guide to Investment. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoy that podcast. If you do, make sure that you share, comment, like, and tell me what you think. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon.